Election Day now is less than a month away here in Kentucky. A closely watched governor's race in-state and around the country is on the ballot, along with other statewide seats, and there are some scattered local races around the Commonwealth.
Early voting starts just 3 weeks from Thursday. WKYT's Phil Pendleton spoke to several county clerks about the process to prepare for the election.
Election machines are being prepped and checked over carefully ahead of the November election in Laurel County.
They have to check all the codes, all the numbers, serial numbers of the machines, the seal numbers that we place on the machines. Every machine has to have a seal.
Every Kentucky county has early voting the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday before Election Day. Laurel County will have it at the Courthouse Annex. Laurel and Boyle are among the counties that utilize multiple voting centers for Election Day.
You can go to any location in the county and cast your vote. It doesn't have to be precinct related like it's been in so many years.
Traditionally, the presidential race, which is next year, will draw the biggest voter turnouts of any election cycle. Traditionally, gubernatorial races result in lower voter turnouts, but county clerks say they hope that will change for this year.
If I had to guess maybe what the turnout would be, maybe 35 to 40%.
Many people do like to wait and vote on the traditional election day, but the early voting does allow for more flexibility and possibly shorter lines to vote. Voting has changed a lot in recent years.
It's amazing how much work it takes inside an office to get ready for an election, especially since they've added, early voting, absentee voting, vote centers.
Tuesday at 4 o'clock is also the deadline to register to vote in Kentucky. Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
All Kentuckians will be able to vote for governor and lieutenant governor, as well as the statewide constitutional offices, but some counties will have their own local races as well.